Yo, yo, yo! Tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo, 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 woo! Y'all, I am so excited to be here with you tonight, this afternoon, this morning, wherever in the world you may roam. Because, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Sunshine Show is worldwide. That is right. I have such a special treat for you tonight. I have the one and only, the most amazing, the most phenomenal, the most fabulous, the most Bowie of them all. I have Lopaka Rootz all the way from Hawaii in the house. What's up, Lopaka?
Oh, not too much, Sunshine. Great to be back on your show again. It's been a minute since we've seen each other. Super stoked on life right now. A lot of good things happening.
I am so stoked to have you back on the show. It has been a moment since we've talked. In fact, last time we talked, you were still waiting on a baby. And since we've talked, you now have said baby.
Yes, that is correct. I am Lopaka Rootz these days.
Hello, Papa.
My son, Koa James Lyric, was born on December 21st. So basically, I actually have moved temporarily out to the East Coast. And he was born in the middle of a snowstorm. So, boy, it's been quite an interesting adventure. And being his papa is quite an amazing thing. And keeping the music going at the same time because he's the inspiration behind a lot of the future music for sure.
He's like your little muse.
Totally. And he's like my mini me because he looks just like me, too.
Oh, little Papa, tell us, how do you manage Papa time and music time? It cannot be easy.
Well, it's mostly papa time right now, just because he needs me and his mom needs me as well to help out. A lot of not getting too much sleep here and there. You know, you get the old 2 hours of sleep, you wake up for an hour, get him fed, get him changed, hang out with him for a little bit until he falls back asleep, and then try to go back to sleep for another hour, 2 hours, and then eat, sleep, repeat. But yeah, it's been really good and it's been inspiring. I have been getting my music together. I was able to do a show out here on the East Coast and kind of get back into my groove. And it was actually his first show, so we had like little earmuffs for him, and he was out there in his little carrier with his earmuffs for my first show here on the East Coast. And it was amazing to have my son there for the very first
Oh,
time.
how sweet. As you were saying that story, Winston Diego, the pig, in the closet, he started like going, he was like making these little baby noises. So it like totally contributed to the story. And I will tell you, having a pig is kind of like having a baby. Kind of. I know that the two should not be compared, but I will tell you, this dude has me up at all hours of the day and night wanting to be fed as well. So I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. And congratulations on all the hard work. And you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much, Sunshine. I appreciate that. You know, I heard that it was actually National Pig Day. Was that like a day or two ago? I heard
It's
something about that.
today is National Piggy Day.
Hey, all right. Happy National Piggy Day, Winston.
Winston, did you hear that, my little baby piggy?
He's a wiggler, probably just like my little wiggle.
I did feed him Cheerios, oat milk, and a banana for National Pig Day today. So that's how he started his day. And it's been a very nice day. So thank you for recognizing that, Lupaka.
Yeah, of course. No problem.
All right, guys, you already know how this works. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for your host, Sunny C of the Sunshine Show, or the one and only Lopaka Rootz, drop them down there in the comment section and I will get to them as soon as possible. You ready to get this motherfucking party started?
Let's get it.
Ooh, like a ninja style. Yes, that's what I like to hear. All right, Lopaka, I want to talk about this new single that you have just dropped recently.
Oh, the
Well,
harvest.
The Harvest. Recent for me, I'm not sure how recently it is. I feel like it's been a couple of months.
It has actually. I released it in November, and the story behind it is super crazy because I had done a track with Skillinja maybe a year ago or something like that. And basically, we collaborated and created the song Ganjapreneur. And 808 Day on the Big Island is kind of a big deal. So the dispensary there, Big Island Grown, who was a medicinal dispensary, was going to have this 808 Day concert. And they'd asked me, like, hey, you know, if we could bring over anybody, like, who would you want to see? And I was like, it'd be cool to see Skillinja, you know, and maybe do like the Ganjapreneur song in front of the dispensary. That'd be kind of awesome. So, they contacted Skillinja. I gave them his contact information. And then I talked to Skillinja and I was like, it'd be cool if you brought over Josh Heinrichs, because I know you guys are homies. If you could work out a deal where you and Josh come over and do a little duo collab kind of set or something, it'd be epic. So evidently he was able to get Josh Heinrichs on board. So they came over and they put on an amazing show. Skillinger came up and did Entrepreneur with me, and it was surreal to have a song that I actually got to perform with him live on the stage in front of the crowd. And of course, when he came up, he had everybody super hyped and all turned up. And it'd been a minute since everybody could really get out for a good full concert too. So, I mean, we had a bunch of them, but this one was a pretty fun and epic one. So anyways, afterwards, I asked the guys if they wanted to hang out. So I kind of became tour guide, took the boys down to the beach, and Josh got some content down at the beach. And then he was like, hey, we got anywhere we could go jam that's kind of like shaded and like kind of cool. So I took them to this park and we started jamming. And they're like, well, what do you got? And I was like, well, I got this song called Harvest. I've had it for a long time. And they're like, all right, go ahead, play it. So I started playing it. And as I got into the groove of it, all of a sudden the boys were like, all right, we're down. As long as you do all the work and the production and everything like that, we're down. We split it 3 ways. That's right down our alley, right down our avenue. And so Harvest was born, and it really came out nicely. I got it directed, produced by my friend, I Am Wills from Glory Sound Studio, and he did just a phenomenal job with the track. As soon as we sent it over to the boys, they were like, yeah, we're all about it. And I even had done a thing too where I was looking at BPMs because I was trying to find out the BPM in the wheelhouse. So I went and I looked up Emergency Spliff, and I pulled up that song and we got the BPM from it. So I literally put that BPM right into Harvest, and it flowed. Like the boys just did their thing. Josh came with his nice, easy, nice kind of like crooner vibe style that he has. And then Skillinger came in all heavy hitting with the double time rhymes and talking about all kinds of things and doing shout outs for the dispensary. So it's one of those bucket list dream come true songs. And I'm thankful that they took the chance on me, because sometimes being the up and coming artist, they don't know if you're serious or, if you're legitimate and if you're really about it or not. And for them to give me a chance and for the song to come out as good as it did. And it has been out for a couple months and it's done really well. It got picked up by a couple good playlists. And of course, because it's Josh and Skillinja, a lot of their fan base have discovered it and loved it. And hopefully someday we get to play it live, at like a Cali Roots or a Dry Diggins. Fingers crossed that eventually it'll happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen because we manifest stuff here on the Sunshine Show.
Yes, manifestation creation.
Let's check out this chat really quick, see who is in the house. We got Mama Cantu all the way from South Texas.
Hi, Mama Cantu.
What's up, Mama? We got my beautiful secretary, Donovan, living in the basement. What's up, Donovan? Thank you for all of your hard work. We got Chris Luna all the way from Hawaii. What's up, Chris? We got the one and only Daniel Bayanez out of California. I have to make a special shout out to Daniel. Thank you for your support. You made a large purchase the other night off of my Etsy base club shop, and that really just meant the absolute world to me. And sir, you're very special, and thank you so very much. Mama Cantu says, oh, Winston Diego, my love. It is true. My mama does love her grandson, Winston Diego. And Don says, it's pig day. When is it basement dweller day? Don, you're staying in the basement forever and you're never leaving.
Oh, man.
He's never leaving.
That was true manifestation right there.
All right, Lopaka. So I actually have known Josh Heinrichs for over 20 some years.
Dang.
Yeah, I used to be in a reggae ska band in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is South Texas for those of you that may not know where that's at. And one of my friends became the very first Mrs. High Times. And so we threw a huge party for her out in Port Aransas. And at the time, Josh Heinrichs was in a band called Ja Roots.
I remember them.
Okay, so Ja Roots came on out and played the party, and it just is a small world, is I guess where I'm going with this story. And then fast forward about 15 years, and I got to play with Skillen and Josh Heinrichs at the Royal Salt Lake City while I was on tour, and that was a lot of fun as well. So I'm so excited that you got to work with them. Were you nervous at all?
I mean, not really. There was part of me that was kind of, starstruck because I've looked up to Josh for a long time and really enjoyed his music. The same with Skilly. But after we just hung out and I got to see they're just normal people like me and they're artists that have, you know, pushed their dreams and got it to the next level and been doing it for so long. They gave me a lot of really good advice. They told me to, you know, just keep on trying and keep on going. And a lot of time, you know, as long as you're consistent, people are going to want to work with you and collaborate with you. So just stay consistent, stay on the grind, keep pushing, making good music. The hooks, they're like, keep making good hooks, man. If you got good hooks and good songs, people, the right people will find it. You'll find the right placement for a song somewhere. So just keep on grinding and doing it. And yeah, it was a lot of fun and pretty surreal. And it's neat to be friends with them and to have their numbers on my line and to be performing and doing these shows with them. You know, like doing the 808 day was just, it was phenomenal. For a song to come out of it too, just made it that much better.
Oh my gosh. Can you tell us the secret behind the magic hooks that Lopaka Rootz concocts?
So the secret about my hooks, I have a hook book. And
Ah!
yeah, and what my hook book is about is during the day or, you know, evening time when I'm doing stuff that I'm not being a creative, if I see something or I hear something or have an idea that I think would be a good idea for a song title, an album cover, or an album title, a band name, I write it down into my hook book. And just like my song before, Ganjapreneur, that was actually inspired by Time Magazine because they were talking about all the Ganjapreneurs and all the people out in Colorado and Cali that were doing, you know, giant medicinal farms and Charlotte's Web and all these things. And the idea of entrepreneur was kind of like, oh, okay, I like that. That's kind of a cool one. So I put it away into my vault or my hook book. And later on, when I felt creative, I was like, okay, what am I going to write a song about? And I just go through my hook book and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm vibing today. Let's see if we can make a good chorus around this title. Because you always have to have the seed. A lot of us, we do verses and all these things, but then when you come to the chorus, you know, you might start to bore us. As they say, you know, don't bore us, get to the chorus. So I'm all about trying to find a good catchy hook. You know, for every, I don't know, 5 or 6, well, for every 10 songs that I write, I would say maybe 6 or 7 of them aren't it, you know? So it's like not every single song is going to be the one, but you just keep writing because you never know which one's going to be the diamond. And sometimes you can feel it. You can feel it when it's like a raw stone that could be a diamond, and then you just have to get it polished and get the facets and everything and make it really pop. I've also had songs too that I thought were, you know, diamonds that didn't necessarily pop, but music is like a time capsule too. You never know. Maybe in 5 or 10 years, somebody discovers one of my songs and that didn't make it or wasn't a big hit at this time, and they're like, "Hey, that resonates with the times now. Like now, we really, really enjoy it."
Well,
It's
I
sort of like
feel
how,
like putting music out with Josh Heinrichs, Skill and Jaw, like this is already giving you like the resume that you need to just get that much more further.
yeah, you're totally right. The fact that they took a chance on me to give me a little bit more credibility in the reggae music community and to let people know, like, hey, yeah, this guy, he's putting in the time. He's working hard and he's not bad at what he does. You know, they got a good song, you know, together. They have this really good song and it's a good vibe. And, you know, the cool thing about music too is for a lot of us, like I was talking to Josh about it and Skilly, is we don't have 401ks. So the music is our 401k. So the more that we collaborate with artists that are going to help elevate us as we elevate them, the more our catalog gets bigger so that, you know, 10, 20, 30 years down the line, we have this catalog that is our 401k. And then it becomes my child's, you know, his inheritance at some point. So that's the important thing is like you don't have to have the whole pizza all the time. If you have some slices from multiple pizzas, plus you have your whole pizzas, it starts to add up and you know you get a nice little catalog going and all it takes is one song to go super major somewhere. And all of a sudden, it's like all the lines are going off. Oh, what else does this guy have? Oh, he did this track. He did Lemon Pie with Cashed Out. Oh, man, that's sick. Oh, he's got an upcoming track with this guy, Kai Boy, from formerly of Iration. Oh, that's sick, too. And there's just all these different things that kind of add up and build and grow to our musical catalog and us becoming the artists that we are. I mean, we all started in the same place, right? We all started with hopes and dreams and we put in the time and you know we did open mics or whatever it was to get out there and do it and we fell on our faces and here we are slowly progressing. I feel like it's one of these things like even BB King, you know, at the level he played before he passed, he was always trying to hit that next tier, that next level. He knew there was something a little bit more. And I think there's this thing as musicians and artists is like we're never really satisfied. And it's not because we're not appreciative of what we have. It's because we want to push ourselves to keep excelling. Because if we ever just say, you know what, I'm exactly where I need to be. That's it. I'm not going to push myself or excel. It creates like a stagnance to where we
Yes.
become stagnant. So I feel like it's a good thing that we have this motivation, because I look back at myself, heck, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, and I'm like, man, I've really come a long way. And then I start to kind of look forward and I'm like, well, I still got a long way to go. There's still a lot of work to do. There's, trying to get my first album out there, working on the cover art. And, I just started doing work with Justin. How do you pronounce Justin's last name? Is it Otesvig?
Justin Oltesvig.
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 Phenomenal artist. Super thankful to have connected with him as well. Justin, you are definitely the man. I let him listen to my song for a little while. I've got a new song that's going to be coming out here soon that we're working on called Daydream, and let him get a listen to it, and he envisioned it. He sent me the sketch, and I was like, dude, that's the one. Only thing I ask is, instead of a dog, can you put our cat in there? And he mixed the cat, and he made it like island style. Like, evidently the guy had shoes on, and on the islands we don't really wear shoes in the house. So I asked him, like, oh bro, I hate to ask you this, but could you take the shoes off? So him being awesome, he took the shoes off of the guy, and then he put local slippers over in the corner. Like, he couldn't have done it any better. So yeah, fantastic artist. Definitely working with him again in the future, and he may be doing my album artwork as well, possibly.
So I am wearing a Justin Oltesvig art original piece. This is available in his Etsy shop, and I will drop that down in the comment section. If anybody is looking for an amazing artist for anything, I mean, any kind of art that you can think of, hit this man up. He is an amazing artist, and he is the one for you. Love the guy. He's done so much art for me, and he is actually working on a single that will be coming out later this year. That's top secret that I have told nobody about, but he's already working on that artwork. Let's check out this chat really quick. We have Andy Williams, my favorite, all the way from Toronto. What's up, Andy? Thanks for hanging out. And we have my favorite, Forsyth Imogene, all the way from Arizona, baby. And let me see here. Let me check my calendar. Actually, I will be interviewing Forsyth Imogene tomorrow. So everybody come back and hang out, because it will be a very good time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the music. So you were saying it's important to, continually look for the next best thing, or continually try to like evolve or
push ourselves to keep going, to hit a next level that's going to keep us inspired and keep the music progressing, and keep us as artists progressing as well.
So what happens when one hits that wall and they feel like they're fucking stuck and they don't know where to go, who to reach out to, what to do, or how to get out of bed in the morning?
Well, we all hit that point. That's just part of life. But the great part about it is, when you get out of it, you got a lot of inspiration to write more music. So it's that one thing of just accept it, because you're human. You're going to go through it. You be in that moment. You experience it, just like how I'm not necessarily doing as much music because I'm taking care of my son. But it's kind of like a wind-up car. Sometimes you wind it up, so when it's time to go, you get a jump start forward again. But don't give up. Don't quit, because the quitting, like, the music won't quit you, so don't quit the music.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
The music won't quit you, so don't quit the music. We need it. People need new music, and that's the cool thing. There may be all this competition and Instagram this, and this guy's got more likes and followers and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, your music is changing people's lives, and it's changing your life. And it's manifestation. Even for me with my song, Living My Best Life, it has literally become a manifestation of those tears. Like, when I wrote it, it became a hit locally in Hawaii. It was played on the radio. I started getting better gigs. I was living my best life. Now it's evolved to this thing where I have my partner in my life, and she had our son, and like, now I'm living my best life in another level, and it keeps getting better. My life isn't perfect. Obviously, it was hard for me to leave Hawaii to come out here to Pennsylvania into the snow, but at the same time, I kind of have that flow feeling of like, okay, if this is the direction we got to go here gracefully and just figure it out and go with it, and it's all going to work out, because usually it does.
We have to trust the process, and we have to trust the universe. I'm a firm believer in that.
Me too. Trusting the process is the hardest one, because sometimes it's kind of like this thing of you're digging and you're digging and you're digging, and you're like, I'm tired of digging, Grandpa. I don't want to dig these holes anymore. And right on the other side of that dig is the next big thing, the next big break, the next big opportunity to happen. And if you give up, then you're that close. You're that close. So just keep on digging.
Now you mentioned the competition, the social media. We're watching and we're comparing a lot.
Oh, the
And
worst thing we can do as artists, because creatives are not supposed to compare.
but we do because we're just so damn sensitive.
We're humans, you know, we're always going to be that way. But I mean, it's a choice to catch it and be like, you know what? Okay, I'm comparing. I'm watching too much of what this guy's doing. That why do you think they have horses when they race? They put blinders on them. It's because every musician has their own lane that they need to focus on. And the more you look to the side or you look behind or you look ahead, the less you're on your own track and you're worried about other people's track. We all have different ways to get to where we're supposed to be going. So, you know, and as creatives, the reason we're not supposed to be competitive or competition is because we're supposed to be supporting each other. This idea of creating music, it's like we all have a different meal. If we were chefs, we all have a different meal. Even though we're cooking food, we have a different meal for somebody else. So it's this thing of we got to keep each other going and supportive instead of, you know, stepping on each other. And I mean, most artists don't really do that. I think most of the time it's in our own heads that we think like because they don't see us that, you know, oh, they think I'm nothing and this and that. But really, it's just because the ones that are up at the top are almost the busiest. You know, you look at some of these big bands, they're just on tour the whole time. And then there's guys like Kyle Smith that can be on tour and networking and doing all these amazing things, and then going out and crushing it. And then I'll see him, you know, sometimes upset when people aren't showing up to the show and stuff like that. And it's just this thing of like, there's always going to be people out there hustling and working and grinding, and we're always going to be our own worst enemy. But just keep doing it because the proof is in the pudding. If you're out there doing it and you're making the music, and even if you're not, even if you're trying to get to that point and you're putting in the work, it's going to happen. I mean, what I'm learning from my son right now, there's something that we all forget as human beings, is that at some point we had to learn how to walk and we had to learn how to talk, which are two of the hardest things ever because we don't know what, why, how, when, or where. And on top of that, we don't even have any muscle in our legs to ever be able, we don't even have enough muscle in our head to lift our heads up because our heads are so heavy. You know, but if we can accomplish that, I have a feeling we could accomplish a lot more. As long as you have goals, right? You set your goals, you have a plan, you have an idea, you follow through. The follow through is the trickiest one because a lot of us will get to that point of like, okay, this is what I want to do. And right as we're up to get to like, nah, I don't want to do, I'm going to do this and that and this and that. And if you follow through with one thing, you'll start following through with many things. And then it becomes this thing of just constantly following through and getting what you want from life.
So what is there? I mean, is there a secret to following through, or is it just setting the goals and keeping track of your goals and making yourself follow through? I mean, I guess I just
That's
answered
it. Yeah, you just totally answered it. That's exactly it. That's all it is. I mean, look at you doing your show, right? Like, there's probably nights where you're like, man, I'm kind of tired, or you know what, I got this going on in this, and I'm kind of a little bit stressed or whatever. But what do? You follow through. You make it happen. You make a commitment. You follow through, and that's why you're doing as well as you've been doing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that so very much, Lopaka.
Hey, I
So
see you doing the hustle, even though I'm not in a lot of the live streams or the interviews and podcasts. I still catch the replays and I still catch the posts and everything. And you have a good way of keeping your content going and interesting. You know, you're doing what they call of like putting posts out there and then doing a CTA. You know, because as they say, you're supposed to do like 5 to 8 regular posts of something interesting or funny or something that's going to engage the audience, and then do a call to action. Hey guys, by the way, we're doing a show, or by the way, I've got merchandise, or I got this. Because if we did just strictly posting CTAs, we start looking like the television with multiple advertisements and everybody just tunes us out.
what is a CTA? For those that may not know, obviously I know what that means.
A CTA is a call to action.
Oh, of
So
course.
if you want your audience or your fan base or whoever you're directing with your social media or whatever you're doing, if you want them to do something for you, you want them to vote for you to go to play a festival, or you need their help to stream your song or pre-save your song or buy your merch, that is a call to action. But you can't constantly ask of them and expect them to do it. You know, so you got to give back. You got to give more than you ask for a lot of the time, if you can. It's hard because we're all busy, and you know, managing the social media is just another occupation. Basically, it's another job. but it's worth it in the long run, especially if you're an artist. Like, we can use these tools and these platforms to get our stuff out there. Even me, fortunately enough to be able to network with you, we just released a tour that's coming up. So by making this connection with you, now I can share about my tour that's coming up, because I'm going to go play in California.
What?
Yep. So in April, we're going for 420. We're going for I think we called it the Big Island set. I know the Big Island Blaze Up session. That's what it's called. So the Big Island Blaze Up session is going to start, and I believe we are at Toots Tavern in Crockett, California. And that would be on 420. And then on 421, we're at Gold Vibe Kombuchawary out in Grass Valley. And that's going to be a lot of fun, too. We're really stoked on that. And then finally,
a kombuchawary?
Yeah, they host a lot of good live music, and they're in Grass Valley, too. I actually met them when I was playing Dry Diggins last year. I'd walked around the festival grounds, and I was handing out my cards and networking and doing everything while the headliners were playing. And I had met them. And then my manager, Mr. Q, had reached out to them and worked out something so that we could basically have a show there and do a little 3-day run, because we actually have a festival that lands on, I believe, the 22nd, which is the West Coast Function Fest, which is a Native Indigenous fest with a bunch of Native Indigenous artists. And they invited a bunch of us from Hawaii to come over and share some of our mele or music. So we're super stoked on that. And that was basically the hub of our little 3-day run that we're going to do.
This is so exciting. I need to Google where Crockett, California is, because I don't know where that is compared to myself.
I believe it's somewhere up north near Sacramento, if I'm not mistaken, because I think that's where we fly into, is Sacramento.
It's only 2 hours from me. I could totally go.
What? That would be epic to see you there. Yeah, heck yeah. Well, if you can, it depends. It's going to be the 420 show. And we're pretty excited to be playing a little show. We've got some sponsors too. We got Bula Pies, who helped sponsor us. We also have Rob's Zombies, which is amazing food as well. And then we also have, I think it's Jackpot Premium Indoor Flower. So we got some sponsorships, and we're gonna come out and have a good time and bring some Big Island vibes. I also have a brother from Hilo by the name of Kyle Strings, who is going to be our brother going with us and opening for us. And it's just about networking and us going out there and playing. And, it's a leap of faith for me to go out there and to try to do this, but I got to do it. I got to start getting in the mix because everything's on the line now.
Why don't you come play Santa Cruz? Why don't you guys go to Moe's Alley?
Well, the thing is we want to get into the mix of doing shows, but we have to have that one hub event, right? Because a lot of us have, like I have my family right now. And it's like we want to get to that point where we can play a lot more, but it's like we got to do that one and do a couple show runs. Maybe if I get the invite back to Dry Diggins or something, and I think they're August or something like that.
Just come play a block party. Like literally, we'll pay you to play but we will close down the show. We have block parties all the time. We're having one at the beginning of April, and we're having Santa Cruda come out and play, and we just have a good time. We shut down the street. We have food trucks, and we could do that any day of the week. So
all right,
something that interests you, and
it definitely does.
Something that you guys could pull off. Let's talk more about it, because I would love for you guys to come play the neighborhood. And Santa Cruz is are you kidding me? I live in Pleasure Point. It's not Hawaii, but it'll find you a home.
They got that good vibe.
Let's see what's going on. We got Paul Chavez. Yo, Pablo Diablo, drummer for Jalo. Sunshine, you are my hero. Okay, let's see. He goes further on to say, I want you as a guest on your show. What? Okay, I thought you were asking to be a guest on my show. You want me to be a guest on your show? That is very kind. And yes, the answer is yes. Absolutely. We will do that. Thank you so much, Paul, for hanging out with us tonight. We are going long and strong with Lopaka Rootz all the way from the East Coast now, baby. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, drop them down there in the comments section. Do you want to maybe jam us a little jammy?
Yeah, I got you on that.
I'm going to let you take over, okay?
All right, I'm going to play you guys my big radio hit here called Living My Best Life, just because I am truly living my best life and I'm blessed to be alive, and I'm super thankful for everything that Jaja and life has provided me. living my best life, yeah. Living my best life, oh. Woke up so early on a Saturday morning, instead of feeling so good, ain't no alarm clock alarming. Look out my window into my surprise, said another beautiful sunrise. So you know I'm rocking and I'm rocking the flow, because later on tonight I'm still be rocking the show. I'm trying to do my best, I'm trying to live it right. I'm trying to live my best life, I'm living my best life, yeah. And everything is alright, I'm living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 hey. I'm living my best life, yeah. And everything is alright, my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 hey. I'm waking up in the morning and I'm feeling alright. I'm blessed to be alive and share these positive vibes. The future's looking bright and the music's on me inside. The world of opportunity, come along for the ride, because you're living your best life. Because you only got one to live. I said I'm living my best life, because I only got one to live. Living my best life, yeah. And everything is alright. Living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 hey. Living my best life, yeah. Cause everything is alright. Living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 yeah. All right, I need you guys' help at home. We're going to manifest this together. We're going to put these positive vibes through the old interweb here and bring this into creation, all right? Daniel's got me on this one. It goes like something like this. I said, living my best life. Your turn right here. Living my best life, because I only got one to live. Now you only got one to live. I said, living my best life. Let me hear y'all. Living my best life, because I only got one to live. Come on, y'all. Only got one to live. Living my best life, yeah. Because everything is alright. Living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 hey. Living my best life, yeah. Because everything is alright. Living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 yeah. I said you got to live your best life like no other. Said you got to live your best life, my brother, cause the time is a grain of sand passing you by. So open up your eyes and let your love light shine. I said smile and be grateful for the beautiful day. Open up your heart and let them good vibes come in your way. Just let the sunset in the west to bring a brand new day. Fill your heart with the love and let the music play. Living my best life, yeah. Cause everything is alright. I'm living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 hey. I'm living my best life, yeah. Cause everything is alright. Living my best life, whoa. Whoa, nah, 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 hey. Help me out now. Living my best life. Your turn. Living my best life, because we only got one to live. Come on, everybody. We only got one to live. I said I'm living my best life. All right. Living my best life, because we only got one to live. Last one, y'all. Because we only got one to live. We're living our best life, yeah. On the Sunshine Show.
What? OMG. Y'all heard it here on the Sunshine Show. Lopaka Rootz in the house, living our best life, baby. I want to know, what is the key to living your best life?
The key to living your best life is doing what you love and trying really hard to be the best you can at it. That's it. You know, you're going to have things happen. Life is not always going to give you what you want, but you make the best of it, because it's all about what's going on up in here. It's the manifestation. And when it's not good, it's okay, because it'll get better. When you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is back up, ladies and gentlemen. You know that.
Oh, I Love you so much. You are such a special individual with so much to give, and so many people can learn so much from you, Lopaka. So thank you for just being here with us and blessing us with your words of advice, wisdom, your songs, your music.
To me, that's the most important thing is, I could write songs about anything, right? But to have something that I believe in and that I can resonate and that changes other people's lives, that's the most important to me. I'll write songs about the ganj, and I'll write songs about, I'll tell a story. I like to be a good storyteller. Like one of my songs, Eddie, is about Eddie Aikau, the big wave legendary surfer from Waimea Bay. And if I have something that inspires people, like for instance, somebody had told me when I was playing at one of my hotel gigs one time, I got done playing. I got done playing that song because it's always my last song, because I get the whole audience, even in restaurants, they're singing along and they're manifesting. That felt so good. And we're channeling together to sing of, we're putting these manifestations out there, because even they are living their best lives too in that restaurant, especially in Hawaii. They're like, we're on vacation with our family and this guy's playing this private, intimate concert and they're having the time of their life. Well, I'm at this hotel and I see this guy just sitting there, kind of saw him look on his face. And I'm like, oh man, does this guy want to fight me? I was kind of like a little bit hesitant and nervous. I just got done playing my 3-hour gig, so I'm feeling good. And I walked past with Lopaka, come over here, come over. So I sit down, hey man, what's going on? What's happening? He's like, the armed forces knows your music. And I was like, oh, whoa. Armed forces knows my, like what? Like do I got to run? Like what's going on? And he goes, no. He's like, they're playing that song, Living My Best Life in Afghanistan, for all of the soldiers. And I was like, what, really? And he's like, yeah, there's a radio station out there that plays it for them, so because they're far away from their home and it's keeping them upbeat and it's keeping them positive. And he's like, I happen to be staying at this hotel and saw that you were playing down here and I had to come see you for myself. And he's like, your live show, I already love the song, but seeing the live show and the interaction and everything, he's like, it was a completely different thing. And he's like, I really appreciate it. I want you to know that I appreciate you and your music, and that the armed forces appreciate your music as well. So you just never know when you create something, how far out of a reach it will go. You don't know where it's going to go to, how it's going to get there, but it don't get there if you don't put it out there. So put it out there, fall on your face, make your mistakes. I think it took me like 7 or 8 songs until all of a sudden I started getting my groove, now that I've got my groove, and I put these manifestations out into the universe and we sing them with other people and we get audiences. Like I find myself living a better and better best life each time. So you just never know what you put out there comes back to you.
Living that best life, baby. We got Wyatt Cheshire in the house. What's up, Wyatt? Did you have a good time in Florida with Butter Scott? I seen you out there filming some music videos for Ninja, and I'm pretty excited to see what you guys came up with. I saw the live stream this morning, and it looked pretty entertaining. That was today or yesterday. I don't know. The days kind of, get mixed up together, but all good. Oh my gosh, we got the one and only Brittany Latimer.
Hey, Brittany. Oh! I got to meet her at Dry Diggins finally. She's been a huge supporter of my music and pushing me. And she's just one of the homies out in Boise. When the artists come through, she's always there to house us and take care of us. And she's super rad and super supportive. And I finally got to meet her and another homie, Tracy Blair, at Dry Diggins, which it's cool to have these supporters that are on the other side of the ocean and to finally get there and to be able to perform and play for them. And they actually knew my music. To go to Dry Diggins and play and have people singing along, like, I've never even played this area, and they're singing my song Lemon Pie and Living My Best Life. Like, to me, that's the fulfilling part. It's not about whether I'm making enough money doing it right now or if I'm getting enough notoriety. It's like when you put that music out there and it comes back, like there's nothing like that in the whole wide world. Hey, I love you too, Brittany.
We got Jake Hernandez all the way from South Texas in the house. What's up, Jake? How you doing? Are you in San Antonio or are you in Kingsville? If you're in Kingsville, you better go tell Mama Cantu what's up. You know what I'm saying? Go crack open a beer. Go light up a jizzy joint with that. Not a jizzy joint. That sounded terrible.
No, that did not. I get it.
Rewind. Yeah. Go light up a joint with Mama C. Let's see. Wyatt says they did that music video yesterday and it was a lot of fun. I bet it was. You guys were off the handle, and it was literally like 8 o'clock in the morning or something. I don't even know.
Ooh.
But I cannot wait to, to see the video because Bada was in this Island Asylum video last year, and, and they were doing some choreograph. Like, it was off the chain. It was amazing. I love it. I love everything that the guys out of Florida do. So I'm super stoked to see that. All right, let's see. Brittany says, Hope baby is doing amazing. Well, baby is doing very amazing. Right, Lopaka.
Yes, he's doing super well. He's getting bigger by the day. It's crazy how much growth he's had in 2 months, and like he's a lot more aware now. So I'm noticing he can see us better, and we're getting a lot more smiles and wonderful facial features. And he's leaving me nice little presents, which, I'm actually at first, it was one of those things of like, oh man, diapers, diapers. But now it's just an automatic thing, in the middle of the night, half asleep like this. Okay. Yep, got to get them all taken care of, all ready to go. Okay, we're good, we're dry, we're clean. Okay, let's eat a little bit. Okay, back to sleep. We're rocking, we're rocking, we're rocking.
Oh my God. Yeah, man, my kid is 24 now. He graduated college. So like those days were a long, long time ago. I was 16 when I had him. But I remember that rocking bit. And boy, was we rocking for hours at a time. And it
Yeah,
like felt like it was never going to end. So I mean, and it can't ever get easier. I feel like as we get older, we probably are more mature and more patient, obviously. But it's still very hard to raise a tiny little child, and you're doing such a wonderful job. And just congratulations on being a dad in your child's life, because sometimes it's hard, to find that. So hats off to
I
you.
couldn't not be, like to finally get chosen, because I'm almost in my 40s too. So it's like to be chosen and be a dad and to have that moment. And, actually, I look at it as sometimes he's my musical practice because when I'm putting him to bed and I'm patting his butt, I'm keeping time. We're working on a song, we're singing a song, we're going to sleep. And I hope one day he's a fantastic, amazing musician too, because it's like we're letting him grow up with music and I'm not going to force him to play anything. I just want to surround him with it. And, even while he was in the womb, we had these things called baby hubs, which are like little suction cup speakers that you could put on your belly. And then he could have music inside. So he had classical music. He had the Beatles. He had, like my girl's really into twiddle. So he had a lot of twiddle. And yeah, just a lot of really good upbeat music, my music, I'd have little talks and things like that for him. So it's pretty cool. And I have a feeling he's going to be good. My friend Wills, who just had his son, Junior, AJ, basically he's got him like he'll play keyboard and then he sets his hands on top of his hand, and while he's playing, his little hands are on there and he's kind of watching. And at first I was like, oh, is he really into it? And I saw my friend hit a bad note, and all of a sudden like his son like looked at him like, Dad, like really? And I was like, whoa, he knows already. He knows if it's in scale or not. Like, wow. Because I mean, it is a language, right? So the sooner we can get them on the language, speaking it naturally without it being this, big thing that they have to figure out and learn, because, we all naturally have it. Do you know what is the first musical instrument that we hear most of the time? Mama's heartbeat.
Voice.
Oh,
Oh,
and the voice.
the heartbeat. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's what I was going to say, because the first instrument is your voice, right? And so a lot of people think they can't sing, but that's bullshit. You can sing, but it takes a lot of practice, a lot of ear training, a lot of patience with
Oh
yourself,
boy,
and
yeah.
understanding that everybody has a unique voice, and you can't always compare yourself to X, Y, and Z, and I want to sound like this person. You got to sound like yourself. Everybody has their own timbre. Everybody has their own resonance. And you just got to get used to listening to yourself in the headphones, and just and practice a little bit of a pitch training, I think, right?
You're totally right. Yeah, I have a vocal coach, and when I thought I had it, I went to my vocal coach and realized that, man, I'm glad that I thought I had it, because if I thought I had it before, I would have gave up because I didn't realize how bad I was. But you have to find it. You got to do self-discovery. You got to look for it. And it's not, I feel like we all naturally have it, but like you said, we're not all going to be Adele. So it's like, if you can't hit those crazy Adele notes and those runs and stuff like that, don't stress it. You have your own abilities. Look how many people like I like to look at like Bob Dylan, right? Like Bob, I wouldn't say was the most amazing singer in the world, but he could tell a really good story, and he could do it musically and tastefully. And that became his sound and his tone. And I mean, to tell Bob that he couldn't sing, but he's been a professional musician / artist his whole life would be ridiculous. So, you just find what you can do and you do it. And
I mean, there's so many artists like that. Look at Willie Nelson. For a long time, Willie Nelson was like, nobody gave a shit about him. And fast forward, however many years, he's like 84, 86, still selling out arenas, anywhere he goes. And it's not that he has the most beautiful voice, but it's a very unique voice, and he's consistent with what he does. And that's why I love Mr. Willie Nelson forever. I recorded at his studio when I was 17 years old. That's have been amazing. A huge Willie Nelson fan my entire life. Okay, let's check out these comments real quick. We got Wiz Fire in the house.
Sup, Wiz?
What?
That's Hawaiian slang right there.
Do we have the pleasure of having Wiz, the one and only Wiz Fire in the house? Oh my goodness. Woo! All right, Jake Hernandez says, I'm in Kingsville knocking out some jobs. So go buy mamas and chill. Right on, bro. Be the best dad you can be.
Hey, thanks, Jake. I appreciate you. Fist bump back at you, my dude.
Jake is an amazing daddy and has 3 beautiful young daughters. All right, Paul Chavez. Yes, yes, yes. Your voice is your own personal instrument. Absolutely. Oh shit, we got Brett Coleman in the house. It's a live radio show.
I finally met him in Kona too. I met him at the Kona Brewpub parking lot. He was like, hey man, I'm on island, and we linked up. I didn't get a chance to do any music with him yet, but maybe the next round, because I know he's been out there crushing it too.
Well, let me tell you, you didn't hear it from me, but me and Brett might be doing a little something.
What? Say what?
What?
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what
Let's go.
Uh-huh. Don't tell nobody.
No, I won't.
Top
Mom
secret.
is the word. Mom is the word.
Don't tell nobody. This is a secret between us.
Shh, the baby's sleeping. Shh. That's the game we play now.
Let's see. Question. What is your favorite Willie Nelson song? Okay, I'll take this one first. Favorite Willie Nelson song has to be Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. And that's because that's my mama's favorite Willie Nelson song. And so that's the first song I ever learned on guitar with like the actual solo and everything. And then beyond that, I mean, fucking all of them. I own almost every single Willie Nelson album, and I'm obsessed with him.
Dang, that's epic. Well, even the fact that you got to record in a studio is priceless.
I literally moved out. So I lived in Austin, Texas. His studio was in Spicewood, Texas, which is 45 minutes outside of Austin. I moved out to Spicewood. I lived literally 3 miles from the studio, and it's like on a golf course because I was so obsessed just to be next to like where I knew Willie was. And of course, he has property in Hawaii, and he wasn't always there at Spicewood, but he had a huge horse ranch out there, and it just brings back a lot of really good memories because like I said, I got to record there when I was young. I actually recorded there 2 summers in a row. So that was pretty legit. Do you have a favorite Willie Nelson song?
You know, I listened to him, but it's like I can't quite place one off the top of my head. But I know I should be able to.
No, I'll pick one for you. Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it's so clever. Yeah, I really like that one a lot. You're right. I have actually heard that through one of my reggae playlists too. That like jumped into one of my reggae playlists.
We got David Hammer in the house.
Hey, let's go.
What's up, David? Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I'm sorry I missed you when you were in Santa Cruz, but I hope to hang out with you again very soon. All right, let's see. Restraining order still in full effect. That's right, Dawn. Willie Nelson has a restraining order out on me, but that will not keep me away. Oh no, it won't. In fact, my next song entitled Stalker will be out soon. No, I'm joking. All right, next question from Daniel Bayanez, the one and only. Is there any obscure music that you listen to that would surprise us, Lopaka?
Oh, interesting. Okay. Obscure music. Boy, that's a tricky one. I feel like there was one of the bands, I guess, was Khruangbin. I was kind of definitely into Khruangbin there for a little bit because it's kind of like experimental, but like interesting and just different. And like, you don't know where they're going to necessarily take you. And as a three-piece, they're just ridiculously strong. So I would say Khruangbin is one of those kind of different non-reggae musician or musical acts that I would listen to.
I really love Khruangbin. For me, I'm going to say I've been listening to a lot of, is his name Zach Bryan? He's literally like a country singer. And
Oh
like
yeah.
that's not that's not normally my go-to, but the South Texas in me and like, you know, the feels and everything that comes with it, I've kind of been having that on replay. But that's another secret between us. Please don't spread any rumors about that.
Music is music. If you feel it, that's what counts. If you feel the music, that's the most important.
Something in the orange. Yes, Brett Coleman, that's my jammy jam.
So you know, I have a country song done in a reggae style too.
Really?
A George Strait tune called "Blue Clear Sky" it was inspired by the movie Forrest Gump, and we totally reggae-tized it, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Rewind. Did you just say George Strait?
Oh yeah, you better believe that. And it's crazy because the idea came from the movie Forrest Gump, and basically Forrest had said something about when he got on the bus, he said then Jenny fell out of the blue clear sky. So the songwriters heard it. They wrote this song. They pitched it to George. George's like, "You guys are nuts. Who the hell says blue clear sky? It's supposed to be clear blue sky." And like, well, Forrest said it. And he's like, "Well, I mean, I guess if Forrest said, I'll run with it." It became one of George's probably top, I would say, 15 or top 20 greatest hits of all time. Blue clear sky. And then our reggae rendition of it is just phenomenal. The bubble in it and just the islandy vibe with the country. Oh,
I have okay, look. So you know how Pee Wee Herman has the word of the day?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When somebody says George Strait on this show, that's the word of the day. So I want you to say George Strait one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, George Strait.
Okay, are you ready for my story? Okay.
Yes.
All right, picture this. Picture this. 2002. Kingsville, Texas. The livestock show. George Strait is coming through to make a performance. He is stopped by the Border Patrol. They search his tour bus and they find bundles and bundles of cocaine.
No way.
This is a true fucking story.
Whoa.
Okay? So let me tell you.
That's a big deal.
No. Let me tell you what happened to Mr. George Strait. This is what Kingsville, Texas. This is what we do in Texas. We damn took the cocaine. Probably did it. And then we made George come back for the next 12 years and perform a free show at the livestock show.
Wow, that's savage.
To dismiss the charge.
A complete setup to get him just locked in all the time. Yikes.
We have also, in Kingsville, Texas, stopped Snoop Dogg's tour bus. And also, do you remember this band? I think they were called Kitty. It was like 3 girls, and they played like hard rock music.
I do remember them, yes.
They also got stopped in Kingsville, Texas. So
I'm sorry, I'm not going to Kingsville. Can't do it.
If you are ever on tour, do not go through Kingsville, Texas, because they're stopping you and trying to get a free show out of your ass, okay?
You're playing the international livestock tour. Better believe that for the next 10 years or else.
Paul Chavez says, cocaine is a hell of a drug. I know that's right. I know that is right. All right, let's see. Brittany says, Lopaka, I love you. Love you, sunshine. We got to go to bed. Have a great night. Brittany, all the love. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you, Brittany. Have a good one. Be blessed.
Next question from Andy Williams out of Toronto. Where do you go to get new song ideas?
Go for a walk. Go for a walk. Go for a drive. Go cruise through a city and just look around. Look at different things and don't ever feel like it's cliche. Because a lot of us will think, oh, that's already been done. Of course it has been done. Everything has been done under the sun. But have you done it? Have you put your own twist? Have you made your own unique style and flow? I have songs, pretty much probably all of my songs, like even Living My Best Life. Somebody else wrote a song about living my best life. But our hooks were completely different. Our vibe was different. Our style, our genre. So just go out there and just see what there is in life that inspires you, Or if somebody says something that's inspiring, write it down into your hook book and go back to it for future reference.
The hook book. This is what I want everybody to take away from this podcast tonight. If you're an aspiring musician or if you've been writing music forever, I think a hook book is an important thing to possess. And if you don't already, if there's not already something on Amazon called the Hook Book with a bunch of blank lines, Lopaka, please go provide that for the people. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I could consider trying to do something like
No,
that.
no, no. Do it. I'll show you how to do it. It's called like KDP editing. It's like a whole software and it's easy to publish books on Amazon. I will show you how to do it.
Oh, Don, you bad boy, you.
The Hook. Don is awful. That's why he's locked in the basement.
Of course, he was talking about fishing, right? Like he had a book full of like fishing hooks. Uh-huh. Don.
Yeah. You guys, we have been having such a good time with Lopaka Rootz here on the Sunshine Show. We're going to start getting this wrapped up in a little bit. We've been going for about an hour. So if you guys have any last minute questions, comments, suggestions, make sure to drop them there in the comments section and I will get to them. I want to go over the guests that I have coming up this week. Tomorrow I have Dylan Garcia, and on the 10th I have Fleeb all the way from Colorado. Now, you guys, the week after that is bass week, and I don't even know if you guys can handle all the bass I have coming your way. On Monday, I have Bass Bandicoot. Tuesday, I have the one and only David Pastorius, nephew to Jocko Pastorius. On the 15th, I have Stuart Ham. What? On the 16th, I have Kaya Hall of Sensi Trails. And you guys, are you ready for this? I am in the talks of working with and interviewing Peanut of 311. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
Sunshine, you know how to do it right.
What just happened? What? Can I drop the mic? Drop it. What's up, Bear? Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight and being a longtime supporter of the Sunshine Show. Everybody, this episode has been brought to you tonight by Sunshine and the Bass Kids, Rocksteady Collective, and Bass Players United. I cannot say thank you enough to you, to them, to everybody. Time is so precious and you guys are spending it here with us tonight. And it means the absolute world to have your support. Lopaka, what else should we talk about before we get this wrapped up? Wait on that. Daniel wants to know, let's talk about your gear. What are you rocking?
Oh, so I'm rocking some Big Island Grown, which is our dispensary out on the Big Island. Okay. And they're a medicinal dispensary. They got this shirt right here. This Big Dabs Only is one of their really cool shirts that they vibe out. They're sort of one of my sponsors, so I'm super thankful to even have a sponsor. And they actually sponsored me to come back and play in Hawaii, and I got to play at the festival that is sort of like, it's like our Super Bowl of island music festivals on the Big Island, called the Ho'olaulea. So Big Island Grown is one of my sponsors. Super thankful to have their style. Plus, I mean, they're pretty cool. I mean, because it's from the Big Island, so them just being big, B-I-G, Big Island Grown. I mean, it don't get more better than that.
It's perfect. All right. So what else should we talk about before we get going? Is there any other announcements you want to talk a little bit? Why don't you tell us about the shows that are coming up one more time for the people that just joined us?
Okay, yes. So we're coming for the Big Island Blaze Up Session reggae concert, which is a 3-day run. We're going to be in Crockett, California at Toots Tavern. So if you guys are interested in getting tickets, you can go to lopakarootsmusic.com. I have 2 little buttons up on top. One takes you to the Toots Tavern, and then the other one takes you to Gold Vibe Kombuchuary up in Grass Valley. So we'll be playing those 2 shows. You can buy tickets for those. And we'll be finishing up on the 22nd at the West Coast Function Fest out in Forestville, California, which is a bunch of amazing indigenous artists that'll be playing for 2 or 3 days, and a bunch of us island artists showing up to play as well. I believe Ellie Mack will be headlining on Saturday night, the night that we play, and I think Pacific Roots is there, and a bunch of other amazing bands. So yeah, come check us out at the Toots Tavern on 420, and then check us out at Gold Vibe Kombuchuary 421 and 422, the West Coast Function Fest.
Boom! Wiz says Grass Valley is in his backyard. So
hey, come on out, Wiz. I would love to meet you. If you happen to make it, come up. I would love to network and meet you in person.
All right. 2 more questions from myself. Oh, that's right, David. And you will be at the Black Party in Pleasure Point in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to work that in the future. I'd love to play something like that. Whether I can bring just myself solo, a 3-piece, or my whole 7-piece band, whatever we can do to make it happen at some point, it would be an honor to play in Santa Cruz.
Bro, like, do I even play bass or not? I'm pretty sure I can play bass for you.
Yeah, that's true. I can see you shredding it up. Like, ladies and gentlemen, on bass, get a percent of
That is like the running joke. That is the running joke because everybody like is like, does she even play bass? Like, have you ever even seen her play the bass? And I'm like, wait, bitches.
I've seen your videos. You crush it on bass.
Maybe I play bass, maybe I don't. But until the day that you see me live for yourself, you'll never forget it, baby.
That's the goal, right? We turn all the doubters into believers until they see us and like, whoa, okay, dang, I can't believe I doubted you one bit.
Let's see, Brett Coleman. I want to play a show in Santa Cruz. Let's go on a road trip, Arizona. You already know, baby. Get your ass down here to Santa Cruz. We will have a really good time. All right, 2 more questions. And we're going to get the fuck out of here because I know you're on baby duty and you're probably tired.
Yep, got to go down and check up on the little man, make sure he's doing all right. Otherwise, we gotta rock him back to sleep.
Oh, all right. 2 questions. First question: if you could throw a dinner party for any 5 musicians, dead or alive, who would those 5 musicians be, and what would you serve at your dinner party?
Okay. Well, the last time I went Bob, right? So this time I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I would have to say I'd like to see John Lennon there. I'd like to see Freddie Mercury there. I would also like to see, how about Ziggy Marley? I would like to see Ziggy just because he's one of the influences in my life. I would also like to see who's one that could, I would be down with Elvis just to pick his brain, to find out what it was like to be, doing what he had to do when he had to do it.
How did he really die? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, that's actually interesting too. Or did he really die? Like, well, really? What? Interesting. And then let's see. My last one would be, how about good old Kurt Cobain? And a big Kurt, we love you, dude. We love you. Stay. We need more music. Stay. We need more music.
Love that. All right. What are you serving at the dinner party?
At the dinner party, well, because I'm a pescatarian, we would definitely have like a lot of veggies and some good, delicious things. I would probably make my my new signature vegetarian pepperoni balls that I learned how to make. You know what I mean? I got vegetarian pepperoni with some of the vegan cheese, put it inside, baked it inside the oven in a ciabatta bun. And we'll have some of that, maybe fish for all the fish eaters like myself. Because, I mean, when you live on an island and you're surrounded by fish, sometimes you gotta, it's part of my culture. But I don't do the pork no more. We don't do that. You hear that, Winnie? We don't do that, bro.
Winnie is listening to you from the closet. Quick shout out to my bestie, Amelia Teisker. I see you watching at home all the way from Austin, Texas. Thank you for always showing up and supporting. I know you are very busy. And please tell Orion that I love his haircut. Orion, if you are listening to me, your haircut looks amazing. And I love it. All right. Lopaka, one last question. What is your best piece? And I feel like you've already told us this, but maybe you have another piece of advice. Hello, Keith Graham in the house. What's your best piece of advice that you can give to everybody listening at home?
Always believe in yourself. Even when you don't believe in yourself, just continue to believe. And if you got to fake it till you make it, then fake it till you make it, because the only time you have in this life is to go out there and to go get it. And if you fall and you fail, that just means you get back up. There's a lot of skateboarders out there in the world, right? And the cool thing about a skateboarder's mentality is they fall so much that they don't even think about getting up anymore. They just get up and they get back on and they do the trick. So take that mentality with you. When you fall, just get back up. Refuse to stay down.
What a beautiful show we've had tonight. Lopaka, thank you again so very much. And I hope that you'll come back on again sometime in the future, anytime, especially when you're about to promote the show. I would love for you to come back on so that we could talk about California a little bit more.
Okay, definitely. Would be honored to. Thank you for having me here, Sunshine. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And so we can find your album streaming on all streaming platforms?
That is correct. Lopaka Rootz with a Z. And then I have High and I, because that was sort of our band, the Hawaiian side of us and the higher consciousness. Lopaka Rootz, High and I on all musical streaming platforms.
Perfect. All right, guys. So until next time, make sure to be kind to the people around you. You never know the battles everybody is facing. Try to keep a smile on your face and stay safe out there, guys. It's a dangerous fucking world. On 3, we're going to say bye. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Aloha.
Hasta la vista.